Good day and welcome to Predators Proclivity, the podcast where we look at data from the season for the NHL Nashville Predators and make comments upon it. I'm your host, Preston Proctor. Yes, I am recording this a day early. I've got contractors going to be at my house tomorrow. I don't know if I would be able to do the podcast in time if I did it tomorrow. So I'm doing it today, ergo whatever happens today, I won't be part of the podcast because I won't know about it. One thing I do know about, I guess there was the big announcement is that Logan Cooley just signed a new contract starting next year for $10 million a year for 8 years, currently making $950K. He's 21. Last season, last season looks like he had 65 points, 40 goals, 25 goals, 40 assists. NHL's new $80 million man. Good for him. Anyways, I just saw that when I was getting set up here and thought that would be kind of interesting. The side effect of that is apparently Utah only has $5 million in cap space right now. So they're going to need to make some changes by next season. So it's already started for them, I guess, what they're going to have to do for next year. Anyway, this isn't the Utah update. This is Predators Proclivity. We don't have any additional information on the minor leagues to pass along, so let's just skip that and get to it. What do you say? Tomorrow night's game, Thursday. Just got that right, Thursday. Hey, the production team got something right. Thursday, the Philadelphia Flyers are the opponent. Nashville will be going up to Philadelphia for one game road trip. Philadelphia is in the middle of a 5-game homestand. They've won both of them so far in shootouts. They'll finish this 5-game homestand with a back-to-back Saturday-Sunday, Toronto and Calgary. They are fifth in the Metropolitan Division with 11 points. They're 5-3-1. They are 5-1 at home. One of the best records. I think I saw somebody at 5-0, but 5-1 is that's pretty good. Like I said, they won the last two in a shootout. This is the first game of two versus Philadelphia. It's not the only one in Nashville. That is all right. Early on, okay, got to get those quantum energy squares into the production room. I swear I'm going to do it. Preds Pro gets you 25% off. I did look at their newsletter, and they have a 20% off coupon, I guess, if you sign up for their newsletter. But Preds Pro gets you 25% off, and you get free shipping with a $35 order. So there you go. Anyhow, the only one in Philadelphia. So we play Philadelphia twice, and if I remember right, I didn't note this. Philadelphia is going to be back here in a week on Thursday. Next Thursday, November 6th, Philadelphia will be here. So the two games with Philadelphia will be here and gone before you know it. Both games at 7:00 local time. Yeah, that 6:45 game last night was kind of weird. And then for the Preds, was it Monday night's game here against Vancouver is at 7:30. So if you're going to the Vancouver game Monday night, the game's at 7:30, not 7. 7:30. I guess in this case you'd be early as opposed to having being late if you showed up at 7:00 for last night's game. Last year, Philadelphia was 8th in the Metropolitan Division. They were ahead of Nashville by one position. So, in the bottom of the league last year, They did get 4 more points than Nashville, but they were the next team from the bottom. So they have, I think if I remember, I didn't check. I believe they were doing better earlier in the season last year, and then really kind of fell at the end, if I remember correctly. Looking back, it looks like they had a 5-game losing streak with a win, and then a 6-game losing streak starting in March. They won the first game in March, lost 5, won 1, lost 6. So they, before that they won 3. After they had lost 5. So starting at the end of January, they had a bad run. They probably weren't in all that great a shape to begin with, but I didn't remember that they were last. But Pittsburgh, I guess, was next to last, and those 2 teams played last night, and Philadelphia won. So anyway, it looks like Philadelphia is doing better this year. Who they don't have this year from last year, forward Ryan Poehling, involved in a pre-draft trade with Anaheim, and Ivan Fedotov was traded to the Blue Jackets. So those are 2 players they had last year. Fedotov is a goaltender. Who they have added is forward Trevor Zegras in the trade with Anaheim, Carl Grundstrom in a trade with San Jose, and Christian Dvorak they signed as an unrestricted free agent from Montreal. And then also a new goaltender, Dan Vladar, who played for Calgary last year, unrestricted free agent for Calgary. And he has gotten a lot of starts. Arson was the goaltender that got most of the starts. They had 3 goaltenders, if I remember, Fedotov and don't remember the other guy's name, but they had 2 other goaltenders that kind of split the backup duties, and Urson got most of the starts. He did get the last 2 starts, but Vladar has been playing just about as much, and he was the backup in Calgary last year. So that's kind of interesting. But so they're playing a lot better this year than they did at the beginning of last year, and for one reason or another, they started off. They won the first game, then lost 6 in a row, and then kind of picked up a little bit of steam. But definitely their start this year is better than last year, and so they're a much more dangerous team. They have 1 player on the injured list, number 55, defenseman Rasmus Ristolainen, week to week, not expected back till December 1st. They have recalled on the 28th, yesterday, they recalled number 36 defenseman Emil Andre from the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. So Ristolainen is out for a while, so they've called up another defenseman. For your Nashville Predators, they are 6th in the Central with 10 points, 4, 5, and 2. On the road, we had that road trip across Canada, and that has been the extent of the road trip, and they were 1, 2, and 1. Then this is a 1-game road trip. They come back home for 2, Saturday Calgary and Monday Vancouver. Vancouver diving team. Yeehaw. And I think this is Vancouver, I think, is the first team that will have played twice, right? Vancouver, played Vancouver on the 23rd. But this is the first time. So Vancouver will be the first team that we will have faced twice, and then Philadelphia. And then we played Dallas. We did play Dallas, and then with Dallas. So, so the 2 games at home, then a 1-game road trip to Minnesota, 2 games at home, Philadelphia, Dallas. So that's 3 home games in a row right there will all be teams we have met already this season. Then they go to New York for a game and then off to Sweden for 2 with Pittsburgh. So that's the upcoming schedule for the Preds. Those are the games with Pittsburgh are considered home games, but yeah, okay. So anyway, that kind of makes it weird because the Preds will have technically 42 home games this year to 40 road games. But basically 40 games on the road here in the United States, 40 games at home here in Nashville, and then they're considered the home team over in Sweden. 2 players injured. Number 59 defenseman Roman Josi, day-to-day, still expected back on the 10th of November. And injured in last night's game was Adam Wilsby. So that pairing, not faring well. Wilsby expected back tomorrow, injured day-to-day. Guess we'll see how that goes. Wilsby. I wonder who will take Wilsby's place, because Nicholas Hague came off injured reserve just in time for Josi to go on it. And, with Wilsby out, not sure who, let's see, but they've still got Wilsby as injured. Not sure who they're still carrying. Well, I guess I could check the roster here and see if the roster shows. Yeah, I should have looked this up beforehand. Wilsby, Stastny, Skay, Perbix, Josi, Hague, Blakenberg, and Barron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay. So I guess we'll see Nick Blakenberg. I don't know. He hasn't played. He's probably gotten in a game or two so far this year. Let's see. Yeah, I guess he played Saturday, Saturday a week ago against Winnipeg. So Blakenberg has been in 1 game so far this year. No goals, no assists. But Blakenberg, if Wilsby can't go, Blakenberg, I guess, would be the most likely replacement and probably be on the third line would be my guess. Stastny and Barron. Maybe move Stastny up to play with Hague, and then Barron and Blakenberg on the third line. Could be how that goes, but I guess we'll see how whether Wilsby's able to take the ice skate effectively tomorrow night. Now let's get into some stats. We don't have still, what is this? 11 games now, and so not quite enough games to really make a lot of assessments on. I think, the first goal is right now it's pretty telling. Overall, the Preds are 3-1-1 when they get the first goal and 1-4-1 when they don't. So the first goal is an indicator. Not, it's no. I still don't buy it. I still don't buy it, but I'm not trying to sell it to myself either. But yeah, out of 5 goals where the Preds have gotten the first goal, they're 3-1-1. So they've gotten, 6-7 points out of a possible 10. And then when they don't get it, 1-4-1. So the opponents have gotten 9 points out of a possible 12. So that's unfortunately that does look really, really strong. What was the other Yeah, against Tampa Bay, we lost all three periods. If you lose two periods, usually you're going to lose the game 99% of the time. And they lost all three, so they, thinking about looking at road stats here, but the Preds have only won the first period one game this year, and that did turn out to be a loss. So nothing much to talk about there. Correlations, there've been a lot of ties. So first period correlation, 7 times they've tied. Yeah, 7 times they've tied the first period. They're 4-3. So when they tie the first period, they've got a pretty decent chance still of winning the game. Tying the second period, they're actually 3-2. Oddly enough, when they've won the first period, they've lost when. No, that's at home. The second period. So, wait a minute. Yeah, no, that's same. They've tied the second period 5 times and won 3 and lost 2. They've won the second period twice, and they've won 1 and lost 2. Ooh. Yeah, the 3 times they've won the third period, they won the game. So that's good. 7 times they've lost the third period, they've lost the game, and once they tied it and they won it. So the third period outcome. Not real surprising. This winning the first period, winning the second period, that kind of thing, the combinatorics of the first and second period results, not really enough data there to make comments on. 3 times they've tied the first and won the second, and they're 1-0-2 in those circumstances. So they've only won the first period once. So, not a whole lot of data there. Most data is in the tied column because they've tied the first period 7 times. So differences in scoring. Look at overall, the Preds still tied when they come into the third period winning. They're tied. Big difference when they entered the third period losing, they're being outscored 5-9. The second period scoring looks pretty even across the board when they come in winning, when they're tied, when they're losing. They're being outscored by 1 goal when they come into the second period winning. Of course, that's only happened once. And coming to the second period losing, they're being outscored 2-3. So that's not. So 3 times they were beaten in the first period, and then the second period they've only been outscored by 1 through 2-3. So still not a lot of scoring in those circumstances. And so it looks like the only time the Preds are outscoring the opponents is when they enter the period tied in the second period or the third period, and that's just by 1 goal. Significantly they're tied when they come into the third period winning, they're tied with the opponents. When they come into the third period losing, they're being outscored by 4. So removing empty net goals, as I like to do, it's 6-5. So still just a 1 goal differential. So still just not a lot of data, but you'd still like to see that the Preds are outscoring their opponent in some situation. I guess the only one being that when they enter the second or third period tied. So that's not my favorite.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
No, I'm not sure how to help me with that either. Thank you, Amazon. Maybe turn off the echo in here when I'm recording. Funny. Just switching pages here, looking at what time the period is won. 55% of the time the winning goal is being scored in the third period. That's pretty significant. Six out of, 11? And so that's very heavily. The other situations, first, second, and shootout all have 1, so whopping 9% there, and then overtime has 2 for 18%. So the third period is kind of the telling period so far. 75% of the time the Preds have gotten their winning goal in the third period, and 43% of the time the opponents have. So again, just 11 games, but starting to get to the place, but seeing the trend, kind of seeing where the team is at this year. And so, it's scoring is definitely an issue, and we'll get to that when we start talking about the matchups. But do we have anything? The special teams. Looking at special teams, they've got some pretty decent numbers. The Preds have 4 goals on 38 power play opportunities, having given up 4 on 45. Spread across the board, 1, 1, and 2. I think the weakest seems to be the second period. They've gotten almost double the opportunities in the second period as they do in either other period, and they only have 1 goal to show for it, 2 in the third period. The opponents haven't gotten a goal in the second period on the power play on 12 opportunities, but most of their opportunities have come in the first period, 21 opportunities, and Preds have only given up 1 goal on that. They've given up 3 goals on 12 opportunities in the third period, so that's not so great. That's a 25% effectiveness of the opponents in the third period on the power play, which I'd be fine with if the Preds power play was a little bit more effective. So let's get to the matchups. Philadelphia and Nashville, two teams in the bottom quad of the league in scoring. Last year, Philadelphia was 24th and in scoring goals, and Nashville was 31st, and they've been scored on. They were 5th and 6th. So 2 teams that were in the upper echelon of being scored on and the lower echelon of being of scoring, which explains their position in the standings. This year, goals for, not a lot better. They kind of swapped places. Right now, Nashville is 25th in the league in scoring, and Philadelphia is 31st. And then when we go over and we take a look at the goals against, we have Philadelphia is 31st in the league in being scored against. So they are pretty stingy. They've scored 24 and they've had 23 scored against them. So that's definitely a change from last year when they were 5th in the league and being scored on. First, in the second period, they were the most scored on team, 108 goals. In the second period, Nashville 102. Nashville was 3rd in the league and being scored on in the second period last year. Both teams better this year in the second period. Philadelphia 16th and Nashville 18th. But, one stat that I did have is that Philadelphia had not shut out any team in the second period, but they did last night. So Pittsburgh was the first team to play Philadelphia not score a goal. They had 1 game with 3 goals and 1 game with 2 goals. And they still have only been shut out in 2 games in the second period. So they're scoring in the second period, even though they're 24th. They're getting it in every game. So they had 9 goals in the second period. So let's see, the Preds are 15th in the league in the third period. So that's much better than last year. Last year they were last in the league in the third period in scoring 69 goals versus 75 in the second. League-wide goals tend to go up from the second to the third period, and even with Philadelphia as last year, as they were not didn't score that many goals. They still scored more goals in the third than the second. Not on average with the league. They went from 19th in the league in scoring in the second period to 21st in the third. So they still went up as opposed to the Preds that went down. So, this year the Preds' scoring in the third period is definitely better than it was last year relative to the first period. But scoring in general for the Preds needs to pick up. Like I said, they're 25th in the league this year. Philadelphia is doing pretty well, and they're only 31st in the league in scoring goals, but they're 31st in the league and being scored against. So there you go. 1 goal differential is all it takes to win a game. As far as special teams go, last year, penalty kill, both the teams, Nashville was 7th and Philadelphia was 19th. 19th, when you take out the shorthanded goals, they had 4 shorthanded goals. They wound up 22nd in the league. So it's about middle of the pack as far as the penalty goes. Last year, Preds top of the league for most of the year. This year, both teams really good on the penalty kill. Preds are 3rd in the league with 4 on 40. Philadelphia is 6th with 4 goals on 35 opportunities. So they are at 88.6% to the Preds' 90. Last year, the Preds overall were 81.5%, so 90%. Still early in the season, but and Philadelphia was 77.6%. The problem we get into here with Nashville is that they are 6th in the league in the number of opportunities. So they are one of the top teams in penalties. 6th in the league in power and penalty kill opportunities. Now 28th in the league in being scored on, so that's good. So that ratio is going the right direction, but that 6th is not my favorite. Philadelphia is 11th in the league in number of times they're on the penalty kill, and they're 25th in the league in being scored on. Both of those teams have 4, so they're 25th, 28th. It's the same spot. Both teams' penalty kill this year seems to be doing pretty well. The Preds do have 1 shorthanded goal, and Philadelphia does not. I think one team has 3, but I think last year 11 or 12 might have been the most shorthanded. On the power play, last year the Preds were middle of the league, 18th, and Philadelphia at almost the bottom, 30th. They did give up 10 shorthanded goals last year, which is 3rd in the league. Nashville gave up 5. Philadelphia's percentage last year was 15. Nashville's was 21. So far this year, the power play, neither team doing very well, both again in the bottom of the league. Philadelphia's power play is 24th in the league at 17%, 5 goals on 29 opportunities, and they've given up 2 shorthanded goals, which I guess that is 1st in the league, most having given up. And then Nashville is 30th on the power play at 11% and 4 for 34. So they are 4-4. So they've given up 4 goals, and they've scored 4 goals on those uneven man situations. The Preds are 14th in the league in opportunities on the power play, but 30th in scoring, which is really not how you want it. And Philadelphia is 25th in opportunities and 25th in goals. And I guess that's not bad. That's not bad. You'd like to be taking more advantage of your opportunities by scoring goals, but that's neither team seems to be doing that right now. And so that leads us into goaltenders. Philadelphia, 2 goaltenders. Dan Vladar, an acquisition acquisition. Calgary, played with Calgary last year, let's put it that way. Unrestricted free agent, got signed. So far this year, he's 3-2 with Samuel Ersson, 2-1-1. Harrison was the starter last year, 22-17-5. They played a lot more of their backups than a lot of teams, I think. But maybe there was an injury as well. I'm not exactly sure. But Vladar and Harrison are playing similar amounts this year. I'm not exactly sure. Vladar did start the season. He played in the first game, and then Harrison played in the second game. Last year, neither of those goaltenders were in goal for, I did not look up Calgary. I should have looked up Calgary to see if Vladar played against Nashville in either of those games, but forgot to do that. Calgary. Anyway, so Kulisov was in goal in the first game, and that was a win. It was the first game of a 3-game winning streak. Sorry. My voice just took a turn for the worse. Excuse me. All right. And Fedotov was in goal for the second game. And that was the last of a 3-game winning streak for them. And let's see, Wolf and Vladar. Okay, so Vladar was in goal last year here in Nashville in December, the second game of 3 that we played against Calgary. Vladar, okay, so Wolf was in the first and third, and Vladar was in the second. That was a 4-3 win here in Nashville, a 4-3 win for Calgary. So all 3 of the goaltenders that played for Philadelphia last year and this year won. Okay. So anyway, Harrison was the starter for them, played the most games last year. He did play last night in Pittsburgh. He's played 2 in a row. Before that, Vladar had 3 in a row. So I don't know how they're doing it. I don't really get the zen. It looks like they do want to play both of those goaltenders. Vladar started the season, then Harrison played in the second game, then Vladar, and then Harrison, then Vladar got 3. So they alternated 3. So I had Vladar, but I'm going to go with Harrison, that Harrison's going to play 3 and then Vladar. So I think Harrison will be in the game tomorrow night against Nashville, and then Vladar will come in and play against, they've got a back-to-back over the weekend, so probably, yeah. So Harrison, Nashville, then Vladar and Harrison. Vladar against Toronto and Harrison against Calgary. That'd be my guess. For Nashville, UC Saros is 4-3-2, and Justice Anunin is 0-2-0 this year. Last year, Saros was in goal for the first game, which was the overtime loss in Nashville. It was the first of 3 overtime losses in a row and the second game of an 8-game losing streak. The second game, Anunin was in, which was a 1-2 loss in Philly, and it was the third game of a 6-game losing streak. This is a lot easier. Anunin played over the weekend, and so Saros will be in goal versus Philadelphia. Players to watch. Yeah. So the 2 guys that we needed, the only 2 guys I had on the list last year when we faced them was number 11 right wing Travis Konecny and number 39 right wing Matvey Mikov. They don't really have, before last night's game, neither of them had any stat to talk about. Now, after last night's games, Konechny is up to Konechny. Travis. Hey, there you go. Travis is second on the team in shooting now. And so I just, in the back, what I was doing before last night's game, I was tracking primarily what the people were from last year, and now I've switched over to this year, and so now I've got these two guys I think we need to worry about, but they don't really have the numbers right now. Who does have the number is number 74, Owen Tippett. He's first in the team in goals with 5 and first in shooting with 28. And then this gets weird. So the assists, so you've got two guys who are tied with assists and points. So both of these guys have 7 assists and 9 points, and that's number 14, Sean Courtier, and number 46, Trevor Zegras. Zegras is the one of the people they added this year. Couturier is the forward that is on the ice the most. He's 5th on the team with 1935. Travis Sanheim, defenseman Travis Sanheim, number 6, his main stat is that he's on the ice the most, 26-39. So he's on the ice the most. So dangerous players, Zegras and Courtier, most likely, and then 74, Tippett. So Tippett, Courtier, and Zegras. And if you're interested, like I am, special teams coach for the Kings in the day, Dave Tippett, when the Preds special teams were amazing. He's gone on to be a head coach in a number of different places. They're not related. So they somewhere down the road they might be Tippett, but not even distant cousins as far as I could tell in my quick thing, because I kept thinking Owen Tippett might be Dave Tippett's son, but he's not. And apparently, what I was able to find was that they're not related, so probably long lost cousins. But anyway, 74, 14, and 46 would be the numbers to follow for Philadelphia. For Nashville, first on the team is Ryan O'Reilly, number 90, first in goals, second in assists, first in points. Forward with the most time, he's 5th on the team with 1947 in ice time. First on the team in shooting percentage at 29.4. It appears he did not take a shot last night. He's gotten 5 goals on 17 shots for a whopping 29.4% shooting percentage. So that's fairly dangerous. Roman Josi is out. He is one of 4 people who are tied for second with 4 assists on the team, and he's first in ice time. Since he's out, Brady Skay is the one with the most ice time, averaging 23-22. And, so the 4 players with 4 assists, Forsberg, O'Reilly, Josi, and Haula, number 56 left wing Eric Haula. First on the team is number 77 right wing Luke Evangelista. First on the team with 5 assists. So he is 3rd on the team with 6 points. First on the team is Ryan O'Reilly. Second is Forsberg. Forsberg is also first in number of shots, 33, followed by Stamkos with 25 and Marchessault with 23. Cole Smith, 3rd on the team in goals with 3, notable because he's taken 15 shots, and so his shooting percentage is 20%. Second on the team. Josi is injured. So, so Haula is making, is showing up in the stats, not with the team last year. Cole Smith is putting in an appearance at the top, and so is Luke Evangelista. So that's new. What is disappointing is the 1 goal, 1 assist out of Steven Stamkos. So hopefully that ship can get righted somehow. I think he was back to centering a line. It looks like he's centering the line with Yost and Marchessault. So, I don't know. but this scoring hasn't started yet. As far as momentum, Philadelphia is 5-3-1. They are on a 2-game winning streak, and they are 5-1 at home. So they have a lot of momentum in their favor. The Preds have been home for 5 games, but did go on a 4-game road trip. Their entire road record, 1-2-1, 4-5-2 overall, and have a 2-game losing streak after a 2-game winning streak. So that's your momentum. All right. Hey, well, thanks for putting up with my need to record this a little bit early. And the game is away. It is in Philadelphia. It is at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. So Thursday, October 30th at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, the Nashville Predators will take on the Philadelphia Flyers. Go Preds. All righty. Thanks for listening. I'm Preston Proctor, and you've been listening to Predators Proclivity.